his truth endure to all generations. And this is my story. Is it your story?
Amen.
Is it your song?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Praising my Savior all
Day
All
long.
the day long.
all day long. We've had a marvelous time up to this point.
Amen.
Our message comes from the book of Daniel, chapter 3, and we've read some of those verses in our responsive reading. And we will read verses 17 and 18 on this morning. It reads as thus, it says, if it be so, these are the three Hebrew boys talking to the king Nebuchadnezzar. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us
Yes, indeed.
from the burning fiery furnace. And he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. I want to talk to you from this thought this morning, from a God will faith to an if not faith. Repeat that. From a God will faith to an if not faith. I submit to you this morning, there has been a revolution taking place, and it's been over the past 150 years in the Christian faith, and it's among those certainly who call on the name of God, this revolution, but it's a new doctrine, and it's labeled by terms such as new thought, word of faith, prosperity, and name it and claim it. It's been over 150 doctrine that has come forth, and forget about the fact that Christianity has been with us for over 2,000 years. Can y'all hear me this morning? Amen. It's been with us for over 2,000 years. So what these followers and teachers of this faith are telling us is that for 1,900 years we had it wrong. That's what they're saying. We had it wrong for 1,900 years. For 1,900 years we had it wrong, and in other words, those who were before us, their faith somehow failed them, and they were just ignorant. They were just ignorant. If you ascribe to this new ideology of naming and claiming and prosperity, and also means that the Holy Spirit, who Jesus said would teach us all things, wasn't a very good teacher for 1,900 years, but now all of a sudden the Holy Ghost is teaching the right way.
Oh, wow. Mama.
Either that or folks just weren't listening to the Holy Ghost for 1,900 years. They're saying that we had it wrong. We had it wrong. You had it wrong. These prosperity folks, name it and claim it, the many of these type of faiths that have originated over the last 150 years say we had it wrong.
Wow.
They're saying that God is just now revealing the truth. You know, I can call the roll on some of these faiths, but I'm not going to do that this morning. Amen. I'm just going to say that anytime a new faith comes along and they say that this is new, what they're saying is that the prior faith wasn't right. Something wrong with it. I'm here to tell you this morning, my faith is not based on God embracing my desires.
Say that.
My faith is not based on that. It's not based on God embracing what I desire. I don't need biblical examples of those who were blessed by getting rich. That's not what I need. Amen. Y'all hear me? That's not what I need. And unless you have some sort of physical or mental handicap, there's no secret in how to get wealth. You go to school. Am I right? You go to school, you get educated, and you get a job. That's how you get money.
All right.
Unless somebody just gives it to you.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It takes hard work. And the formula for staying healthy, because that's part of the doctrine too, that you're never supposed to get sick, and every time you get sick, God's going to heal you. Just pray it. The formula for getting health is living a healthy life. Is living a healthy life. I'm not saying that you're not going to get sick even if you live healthy.
Exactly.
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's not what I'm saying. But it doesn't hurt your health to eat the right things and get the right amount of exercise and get the right amount of sleep
Exactly.
and get the excess stress out of your life.
Exactly.
That's a good way to start on working with health.
Show you right.
But again, my faith is not based on God embracing my desires.
All right.
My faith is based on God helping me embrace his desires.
Exactly.
That's what my faith is built on. I need to embrace God's desires.
Exactly.
Because if I embrace God's desires, he's going to give me my desires. That's what the book says.
That's
Am I
the
right?
word.
Am I right? That's what I need more of. I need more examples, not of those who were blessed to get wealth and health. I need more examples of those who were able to make it through storms no matter whatever state they were in.
Exactly.
That's what
what
I
it's
need.
all about.
That's what I need. That's what I need. I need more examples of like these Hebrew boys. This is what I need. This is what I need. Who stood before the fiery furnace and said, I'm not going to bow. That's what I need. I need more stories like that. Can you hear me?
Amen.
I need more stories of how to get through the fires of life.
Exactly, Pastor.
The fires of life.
Exactly.
The fires of life. And you see, man has long been able to make fiery furnaces. You know, fiery furnaces go all the way back from ever since fire was discovered. Amen. We even have them today. An oven in the home is nothing more than a fiery furnace.
All right.
Am I right?
Yes.
That's all it is. You know, they make by GE, you know, Whirlpool. And some folks will say, if you want these fiery furnaces, you just pray and ask God and it's on the way. Just pray and it's on the way. No need to. They say nothing about, you know what, you might just have to have a little faith.
All right.
Amen.
You know what I mean? The message is getting outrageous nowadays. But they say, God will give you one of these fiery furnaces. Just ask. Just ask. I need to save my prayers for something more than just a physical furnace where you just toss a few steaks in, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Amen.
Toss a few steaks. I'm saving my fiery furnace, saving my prayers for the type of furnace that the devil has created and he's trying to throw humans into.
all right.
Amen.
That's where my prayers are going. That's where my prayers are going. And that's what Nebuchadnezzar had in mind with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He was going to make barbecue out of them.
Yeah.
About to make some barbecue.
Go for
Amen.
it.
Out of these three men, can you hear me this morning?
Yeah.
And he was going to make sure that they were well done.
Amen.
If you don't bow, you're going to be thrown in the furnace, cooked until you're well done.
Yeah.
I wish you could hear me this morning.
Oh, yes.
And they made the king mad because most everyone else was bowing. Most everyone else was bowing, and the king had a notion to build this golden image and says, now, when you hear the music,
Yes,
when
indeed.
you hear the music, I want you to bow. I want you to bow to the image.
Yes.
There's no secret that the devil wants us to bow today.
Still know.
There's no secret. The devil wants us to bow. He wants us to bow to his imagery and dance to his music. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
And I'm going to tell you something that many people may be surprised about. The devil doesn't want you to stop worshiping. He doesn't want you to stop worshiping. He didn't care anything about you worshiping as long as you don't worship God. As long as you don't worship God, you're doing all right. He wants you to worship Him.
Yeah.
Amen.
He doesn't care about you worshiping.
Jesus.
He doesn't care about you worshiping your cars, worshiping your home, worshiping your bank account, worshiping your children.
Yeah.
The devil doesn't care anything about that. He has a problem when you don't bow
Yeah. Well.
to Him.
Don't do it.
You have a witness?
Yeah.
Don't
He has a
bow.
problem when you don't bow to Him. He doesn't want you to bow to God. And he uses the same tricks. He dangles gold in front of those, and they fall into the trap.
Exactly.
He uses what God has made. God is the one who said gold is good.
Yeah.
Go to Genesis 2:11 and 12. He says, and it's written, it says, the name of the first, they're talking about the rivers, is Pison, and that is it which compasses the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. That's what God said.
Yeah.
Devil uses gold as an influence. It's not anything new. You know what got Israel in trouble when they worshiped the golden calf?
Yeah.
Amen.
Am I right?
Amen.
Real faith is going to be tried.
Yes.
It's going to be tried. It's going to be tried. It's going to be tried. But the new message today, it's still a golden message. It's a message of golden prosperity
Amen.
and a message of golden health. And many Christians are bound to it. Now, these three Hebrew boys were not going to bow. I'm sure there were others who didn't bow. Daniel certainly didn't bow. His name is not even mentioned here, but I'm sure that Daniel didn't bow.
Exactly.
The evidence is that he was thrown into the lion's den because he would not stop praying.
All right.
A man of prayer is not going to bow to the things of the world.
Amen.
A man of prayer is not going to bow.
Help us,
Can you hear me
Lord.
this morning?
Amen.
There are others who didn't bow, but watch this now. These three Hebrew boys were being singled out. They were being singled out. This was their time to shine
Oh, yes.
Amen.
Well.
or fall, one or the other. This was their time. Daniel's time had not yet come yet. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
This was their time. This was not Daniel's time. Daniel didn't bow, but it wasn't his time. It was their time. Sometimes we're going through something and we're wondering why nobody else is going through it but us. It's God who's orchestrating it. Thank God for allowing us to be put in a situation where we have to choose.
Yes, indeed.
We have to choose.
Well.
You know, it's one of your time is coming. Your time is coming. Your time is coming. We all are going to have a time when it's just going to be me, God, and the devil.
Well.
We're all going to have that moment, that time. It's coming. If it hasn't come already. And if you've gotten the victory over it, shout hallelujah. Thank God. Because now you know that God can deliver you.
Amen.
You know God can deliver you from it.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
So
sir.
when it comes again, you've already been through trials
Amen.
and tribulation.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be moved. These three Hebrew boys had already been through tribulation. They were in bondage. And away in a far country in a strange land, and yet they said, we're not going to bow.
Hallelujah.
We're not going to bow. We're not going to bow.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Real faith is going to be tried.
Thank you, Lord.
It's going to be tested.
For sure.
A lot of people can talk a good game of faith, but wait until their time comes.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And I'm going to tell you something. God is going to give the devil leeway. He's going to give him some leeway. Don't think that God is just going to completely restrain the devil, because he was allowed to tempt Jesus. If he was allowed to tempt Jesus, he's going to be allowed to tempt us. He's
Exactly.
going to be allowed to tempt us. He's going to be given some leeway.
Exactly.
Amen.
Exactly.
He's going to be given some leeway. King Nebuchadnezzar was given a lot of leeway
He sure was.
to the point where he threw them in.
Oh, yeah, he did.
This was the 3 Hebrew boys' time. They said, King, we're not going to bow.
That's what they
We're not going to
said.
bow. Now, they were courteous.
They sure were.
Amen. They were courteous. They weren't disrespectful. Amen. In other words, in Daniel 3, verse 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this manner. We're not careful. In other words, what they were saying is our answer will be one not careful in regards to the consequences that are going to happen to us.
Amen.
Not careful. We understand the danger of what our answer is going to bring on us.
Yeah.
Yes.
We understand. We understand. But we're not worried about dying.
Well.
Can you hear me? Can somebody hear me?
Well.
Jesus said, if any man save his life, he will lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake,
Oh, yes. Well.
I mean, tell you, if you're not ready to die for Christ,
Well, help us all.
you're not ready to live for Christ.
All right.
Amen.
Do you hear me?
Call it out now, Pastor.
All this fake faith preaching, what they're talking about today, Christ desires our life. They never tell you what God desires from you.
All right.
It's always what you can get from God.
Amen.
It's always what you can get from God.
Ouchies.
They said, we understand the seriousness of our answer, and we're not going to bow. We're not going to bow.
Yeah.
And don't you bow.
Amen.
The devil's going to come at you. Don't bow.
Amen.
Don't bow.
He shows. He's
They told the king 3 things. I'm going to be through. They told him 3 things. In the passage, we read the passage. The first thing they said, he's able to deliver us.
Yes, he
They
able.
said he's able to deliver us. He's able.
Yes,
I don't
he
care what situation you're in. No, God is
He
able.
been doing it.
He's able. My God is able. I heard Paul say he's able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or even think, according to the power that works
Working
within you.
us. Yeah. Within us.
According to the power that works within you.
In us.
He's able. My God is able. I love that song, My God is Able. I know he's able.
Well.
I heard the angel say to Sarah, is there anything too hard for God?
Is there?
Is there anything
Is there?
too hard for God?
Is there?
Jesus testified himself, said, with God, nothing shall be impossible.
Nothing.
Can y'all hear me this morning?
Nothing.
No, God's able. That's what they said. They stood on their faith. He's able.
Yes, he is.
He's able. He's able to deliver us. I don't care what you do to me. My God is able to stop you from doing it. I feel all right this morning. I feel all right.
Preach.
I feel all right this morning. My God's able to stop you from doing it.
He's able.
The second thing they said, first they said he's able to deliver us. Second thing they said is he will deliver us.
Shama. He
They
will.
said he will.
Shama.
He-
If you don't know anything else, know God will.
Yes,
No,
he
God
will.
cares about you. No matter what situation you're in, no
Hiya,
matter how
Shama.
deep you are sinking in
Glory,
finances, in health, in
hallelujah.
loneliness, know that God will take care of you. He will.
Hallelujah.
Somebody say he will.
He will.
He will. He will deliver us.
Hallelujah.
He will deliver us. They said that.
Thank you,
He will deliver us.
Jesus.
One thing, he's able to deliver us.
Hallelujah.
Second thing, they said he will
Glory,
deliver us.
hallelujah.
But now watch this. The third thing is missing from the doctrine of the prosperity preachers, the doctrine of those name it and claim it, the doctrine of this new faith. They said, but if not,
If not.
if not.
Preposition of
Didn't
phrase.
they say that? Yeah, they said that. They said, if not, but if not.
If not.
Where are the if nots in all of this fake preaching today?
Glory, hallelujah.
There's no if nots.
Hallelujah.
If you listen to them, it's guaranteed. These 3 Hebrew boys said he's able to deliver us, he will deliver us, but if not,
Shama, shama,
if
shama.
not,
If not.
if not.
If not.
There's no if not in this revolutionary new doctrine today. There's no if not.
Amen.
There's no if not. Look for it. You won't hear them say if not. A lot of folks today, they won't put aside common sense. Common sense.
Amen.
You got to start with common sense.
Sounds good.
The Spirit can work with you if you have common sense. Jesus, in the majority of his teachings, he broke it down to those who had common sense. Broke it down. Say, if you, whatever you reap, whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap.
That's scripture too.
He made it plain. He made it plain. I'm here to tell you this morning, no responsible parent says yes to their child all the time.
Hope not.
No responsible parent says yes to every request their child asks. If they do that, it means they're irresponsible.
All right, say that.
I know I'm right about that. No responsible parent says yes all the time. And if we know, as Jesus said, if you who are evil,
Yes, indeed.
if you know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will God?
That's
How much
scripture
more will
too.
God? If we know to say no to our children sometime, what do you think God's going to do?
Amen.
Preach now.
What is he going to do?
That's scripture.
What is he going to do?
Sure enough.
That's
For
the
those
truth.
who preach that God is going to always heal you, keep living. That he's going to heal you out of every sickness.
All right.
Keep living.
Amen.
Keep living.
Amen.
And let Jesus delay his coming. I'm here to tell you, sickness is going to take you out of here.
All right.
If Jesus delays his coming. Now, some folks may say, well, Reverend, what about accidents? Well, let me tell you something. An accident is nothing but a sign of imperfection, which comes because of sin.
Exactly.
So there's either going to be health sickness or sin sickness going to take us out.
All right.
Sin sickness. Someone committed murder, that's sin sickness.
Yes, indeed.
That's sin sickness. I'm almost finished. The Hebrew boys told the king three things. He said, number one, our God is able to deliver us.
Yes, help us all, Jesus.
Number two, he says, he will deliver us. God's going to take care of me. I don't care how gloom the forecast is. He will.
Oh, yes, it will.
But I'm here to tell you, church, I'm ready if not.
If not.
If not, I'm ready.
If not.
I'm ready. If he doesn't,
If he doesn't.
if he doesn't, I'm ready. That's the power of the Trinity at work here. The prosperity folks only embrace the first two.
Wow.
They say God will. They
Well.
say God is able and God will. That's it.
That's
They put a
it.
period right there. Every believer of God has a God will faith,
Yeah.
or God is able.
You got that right.
If you believe in God, you believe God is able. If you believe in God, you believe God will make a way.
Yeah.
But how many of the same folks are believing and understand the if not
If not.
Well,
portion of our faith?
help us all, Jesus. Help us
Oh,
all.
yes.
These three Hebrew boys were not ordinary individuals. They were mentioned in Hebrews chapter 11. I know I shot that over you, but I'll show it. They were not mentioned specifically by name. See, that's what a lot of folks they get hung up on names. They were noted in Hebrews chapter 11, as was Daniel was noted in Hebrews chapter 11. And it's because they had great faith. They had extraordinary faith. When we look at the book of Hebrews, the author starts to call the roll, and as he begins to close with the names, he starts at verse 32. He says, what more shall I say? I've already given you a number of those who were faithful. I've given you Noah, who built a ship on dry land when it had never rained before.
Never.
How much more do you want me to give you? I need all the Lord can give me when it comes to those who stand by faith against the midst of adversity He goes on, he says, for time would fail me. He says, I don't have enough time to mention all of them to you. Time would fail me to tell you of Gideon, of Barak, and of Samson, and of Jephthah, and David also, and Samson, and of the prophets.
Yeah.
He didn't name the prophets, but he mentions them. And he says, through faith, they subdued kingdoms. He says, through faith, they wrought righteousness. Through faith, they obtained promises. He says, then the author references Daniel. He says, through faith, they stopped the mouths of lions.
That's good.
That's a reference to Daniel. His name is not there. And then he references the 3 Hebrew boys. He says, through faith, they quenched the violence of fire. Because God did show up and deliver them. He did show up.
Hallelujah.
Their name's not written down in Hebrews chapter 11. But their faith has been noted.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So if these who are extraordinary in faith, if they say,
Okay,
but if not,
Yes, sir.
if the greatest in faith,
Yes, sir.
the greatest in faith say, he's able, he will, but if not,
Yes,
who
sir.
are we not to say
Hallelujah.
and be able to guarantee that God, amen, we need an if not faith.
Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
Our God is able to deliver us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Our
glory.
God will deliver us.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But if not,
If not.
can you hear me this morning?
Yeah.
Glory to
You
your
see,
name.
extraordinary faith
Hallelujah.
also says, but if not.
Yes, sir.
You see, God is trying to get through to us. Faith is not something that you talk about. Faith is something that's lived.
You gotta walk with
Do I have a witness?
Yes, sir.
The greatest in faith never talked about faith.
Yes, sir.
They just lived it. God was their witness. Hebrews 11 says, through faith they received a testimony.
Yes.
Yes,
Do I
sir.
have a witness? They had an if not faith.
Mama.
Yes, sir.
They said, we're not going to bow.
Yes, sir.
He's able to deliver us.
Yes, sir.
He will deliver us.
Yes,
But
sir.
if not,
Yes, he
we'll
will.
be walking in the streets of glory in the morning.
Yes, he
If he
will.
doesn't deliver us, we will be with God.
Yes, he will.
You may throw us in the fiery furnace,
Yes, sir.
but one way or another.
Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear me this morning?
Yes, sir.
God will
Yes, sir.
pull us out.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's what an if not faith is.
Yes, sir.
It says one way
Tell
or
it.
another.
Yes, sir.
God will work it out.
He's able.
I want y'all to let me get happy for a minute.
I'm
here.
getting happy.
I've been preaching for a long time and I haven't gotten happy in a while.
Yes, sir.
You see, an if not faith
Yes, sir.
is not a lack of faith.
Yes, sir.
An if not faith
Yes, sir.
is not a settle for faith.
I feel it.
An
Yes,
if
sir.
not faith.
Yes, sir.
It says, not my will,
Yes, sir.
but thy will be done.
Yes, sir.
And if not faith,
Yes, sir.
says, Lord, you know
He's able.
better than I know.
Yes,
Do
sir.
I have a witness?
I feel it.
I'm glad this
Yes,
morning
sir.
the Lord has
Yes, sir.
given me what I needed.
Yes,
He
sir.
hasn't given me everything I asked for.
Yes, sir.
But one thing he's given me
Yes, sir.
is a testimony.
Yes, sir.
The Hebrew boys,
Yes, sir.
like Daniel,
Yes, sir.
I have
Yes, sir,
a
Bishop.
testimony.
Tell it.
Do you have a witness?
Yes, he will.
My name
Yes, sir.
might not be written down amongst the great names.
Yes, sir.
But one thing
Yes,
I
sir.
have is a testimony.
Yes, sir.
My name may not be in a lot of places.
Yes, sir.
My name
Yes, sir.
may not be up high
Yes,
as
sir.
other names.
Yes,
But
sir.
I have
Yes,
a
sir.
testimony.
Yes, sir.
I know
Yes, he
I've
will.
been changed.
Yes, he
The
will.
same person who I met when I met Jesus a long time ago.
Yes, he
He
will.
got into me.
Yes, sir.
And brought a change
Yes,
in
sir.
my life.
Yes,
Do I
sir.
have a witness?
Yes, sir.
My faith
That by
is
faith.
not about houses. and
Yes,
land.
sir.
Even though I do own a house.
Yes, sir.
My faith
Yes, sir.
is not about good health.
Yes, sir.
Even though I don't have any knowledge.
Yes, he
right
will.
now, my faith
Yes, he will.
is that I'm on another roll.
Yes, sir.
I'm on God's on a roll.
Yes,
Do
sir.
I have a witness?
Yes, sir.
Despite the devil.
I'm getting happy.
Despite all of his chances.
Yes, sir.
To bring me down.
Yes, sir.
I've been changed.
Yep, yes,
Anybody
sir.
been changed?
Yes, sir.
He met me.
Yes,
when I
sir.
was too mean to live.
Yes, sir.
Not fit to
Yes,
die.
sir.
And too mean to live.
Yes,
And
sir.
he brought a change
He's able.
in my life.
Yes, sir.
There have been many fiery furnaces.
Yes,
that
sir.
the devil has put before me.
Yes,
But
sir.
every time.
Every
God brought me
time.
out.
Yes,
Can I have
sir.
a witness?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not going to bow
Yes,
to
sir.
any trials.
Yes, sir.
And any tribulation.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to stand up
Yes, sir.
and have faith
Yes, sir.
in him.
Yes, sir.
The Lord is
Yes, sir.
my strength.
Yes, sir.
The Lord is
Yes, sir.
my light.
Yes, sir.
My salvation.
Yes, sir.
Whom shall I fear?
Yes,
The
sir.
Lord is
Yes, he
the
will.
strength of my life.
Yes, sir.
Whom shall I be afraid?
Yes, sir.
When the enemy
Yes,
came
sir.
upon me.
No
to eat
enemy.
up my flesh,
Yes, he
he
will.
stumbled and fell.
Yes, he
Do I have a
will.
witness?
Yes, he
All
will.
right.
Yes, he
He'll
will.
meet you.
Yes, he
at the
will.
right time.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yes,
My
he
God is
will.
able.
He's able.
He's able
I
to
feel
pull
it.
you out.
Yes, sir.
Jesus stepped into the fiery
Yes,
furnace.
sir.
Nebuchadnezzar woke up the next
Yes,
morning.
sir.
He said he ran and said, "Open the door."
Yes,
he
sir.
looked in. He said, "I thought I threw in 3.
Yes, he will.
Now I see 4."
Yes, sir.
Jesus was in the midst.
Yes, sir.
Amen. I didn't mean to go on, but sometimes the word does that.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
happy.
I'm happy.
I'm glad this morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad. Amen. Amen. Jesus went through his time when he went to the cross and he died
Yes, he will.
on the cross for us. He made a way out of no way. I'm glad this morning. Amen. Amen. My God is able.
Yes, he is.
My God will deliver.
Oh, yes.
But if he doesn't, if you miss me from preaching down here,
Yes, indeed.
I've been caught up to be with him. He's not going to answer my every prayer. He's just going to give me whatever is a part of his plan. He's already had the purpose laid out for me. He's already planned and orchestrated my steps.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen. God bless you.